There's been some very exciting developments in the world of robots and whatnot, so let's get into it, shall we? Well, after being relatively quiet on the Transformers news front, we've had some exciting tidbits come up this week. So I just wanted to go through them all and see what we got and talk it out a little bit. First, I want to talk about the new listings that got found in the Walmart system. I'm not a huge Studio Series fan, but what did pique my interest was the 86 listings. We got Grimlock with Wee, which is probably Wheelie, and we've got Nor the Sharkticon. I can't imagine that these are going to be styled after the actual 86 movie. It just seems too unlikely to me when we're currently getting a lot of those 86 movie characters coming out in the War for Cybertron line. Like, we've got RC coming out, we've already had Springer, we've had Ultra Magnus. I can't picture these being 86 characters. I think what's most likely is it's going to be probably a Walmart exclusive, and I dare say it's just going to be a G1 repainted, maybe a new head sculpt version of the Studio Series leader Grimlock, because we've also got the little movieverse wheelie that came with leader Shockwave. So, you know, I'm imagining he's just going to be orange, Grimlock's going to be silver and gold with some red short shorts. What's also interesting about those 86 listings is you could explain away novelty repaint with Grimlock, but then the fact that there's a Nor the Sharkticon listing makes me think maybe they are going to be some new molds. Because I can't think of a Studio Series figure that's come out so far that you could repaint into Nor. I don't know. If you think I'm wrong, if you've got any other exciting ideas, I'd love to hear them in the comment, because this one's got my interest piqued. The other reason, like, going off of 86 characters already being in the War for Cybertron line, that brings us to our next series of leaks. So these leaks have come from an Asian fan site, TF Club on Weibo. Weibo? Weibo. Weibo. Weibo? Weibo. Weibo. It's gotta be one of them, right? But these photos show some test samples of figures that we suspected were coming. I had a feeling all these figures were coming because the War for Cybertron line so far has done a really good job of Easter egging through characters that we can expect to see in the packaging art. So when I got the later class Optimus Prime figure and did a video on that packaging, you could see that there was like the Seekers tumbling through space, and you could see Galvatron, and so I was expecting these guys to come along. It looks to me, from what you can see in the photos, that Cyclonus is going to be Voyager scale, which is very exciting, or he's going to be one of those freakishly big deluxes, kind of like Hoist is. In this photo, in the photo where you can see Cyclonus in his vehicle mode, which sleek as, you can see Megatron's feet in the top corner, and just from that scale I can't see how you could get away with Cyclonus being anything other than a Voyager class figure. When you look at that underside image of Cyclonus where he's kind of in a version of robot mode, I like how the arms seem like the articulation is modeled really, really closely after the original G1 figure. My only trepidation with that is if he's going to have any kind of, you know, delt raising articulation, because it's not super obvious from this picture how that may work. And is it just me, or is that head sculpt, does he look a little too friendly for Cyclonus, right? I don't know. The next image is very exciting. We get to see the first of our Conehead repaints done out of the Earthrise Starscream mold. I haven't picked up Starscream. I have no burning desire to get Skywarp and Thundercracker. I'm really happy with the Tetrajet molds. It's too similar an update for me personally to feel as though it's worth it. But the Coneheads, yes please. So first we get to see Thrust. It's hard to tell from the couple of vehicle mode pictures that we've got whether or not, or exactly how the Conehead feature is going to work. It looks like you can actually see the head in the chest, but I'm not familiar enough with this mold to be able to tell for sure. It seems, for all intents and purposes, as though it works the same as the classics Starscream mold. So it might just be a trick head. What was quite surprising in these reveals was the later edition by Spencer Agabidi on Twitter of an extra image showing us hubcap, which is not going to be mainline. It'd have to be Generation Selects for sure. I don't know if we've had confirmation of this one coming yet, but I'll give it a miss, right? Because we know there's a Bumblebee coming as well. Don't need hubcap. As tight as that teeny tiny mold is, don't need it. The obvious extrapolation from the existence of Thrust is that we're probably going to get the other Coneheads and get like Dirge and Ramjet, which I'm so keen for. I can't imagine they'll come out as a mainline. Who knows? This might be the first, maybe we'll get one of them as a mainline figure and then get the other two as another exclusive box set, the way they've followed the release pattern with Starscream and you know, his two main Seeker bros. I'm hoping that somewhere in Australia and other places internationally pick it up as an exclusive, so it's not as impossible to get as the Rainmaker set was, or the big ass box of mini boys. Because whilst I will go to that effort to get them to fill out like those Seeker ranks and give the Decepticons some like numbers, I'd rather not. I'd rather just be able to go to a store and get them like a regular person. And lastly, how could we not stop for a moment to talk about that Top Gun crossover? I was a big fan of them doing Ecto 1, and I really liked that they didn't go down the Star Wars Transformers route of having a Transformer that turns into a character from that universe. Hate that. Like if Ecto 1 had have turned into Bill Murray as a robot. No, like, oh, the molded hair. Remember how bad they were? Ugh. Why would you not just make TIE fighters that turned into Starscream and Thundercracker and stuff? How is that not the obvious way to merge those two franchises? No one wants an Obi-Wan Kenobi bot. No one. But they seem to have gotten it right with Ecto 1 and Ectotron, and the fact that there was a comic book crossover as well that helped tie it all together. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe do the same thing with Top Gun and just do a little like one-shot story involving that franchise's human characters flying in some robots. I wouldn't be surprised if you maybe saw Superion in there, I don't know. From the little image that we get in robot mode, whilst it's not especially clear from the aesthetics, to me it feels like it's designed to exist more in the Bayverse. It's got that Studio Series kind of look to it. So yeah, that's that coverage. I'm really looking forward to the coming days and weeks when we're definitely going to end up getting a better look at some of these figures. If this is what we've seen already, it's surely only a matter of time before we get some properly transformed and some robot mode picks. And I cannot wait to see what else is going to come slipping through with the tail end of Earthrise. Oh yeah, also just before we dip out, was anyone else super caught off guard by this dead Optimus Prime dropping? I still don't know if I want it. Like, who needs Optimus Prime's dead body? I guess I'm grateful that it exists,